thinking a lot about the national trophy this last couple of weeks, and it's really hard to constructively criticise what I think is going on, because we get sort of victims then, and it's really easy and tempting to have people to blame. It's just like the new way of wanting someone to rant at. I do think there's a problem. I think the big deal is that we've had no jerseys, and that just sounds pretty minor to some people. I'll just get on with it, but and jerseys certainly don't bother me, I'll tell you, because I never need to worry about whether they'll fit. But I think it's just symptomatic of a bit of a more kind of reduction in the amount of effort and probably cost that British cycling are able to put into cyclocross, which does bother us all really, as cyclocross people. I don't know whether it's a kind of mantra, but we always say the best riders have come up through cyclocross, really, be that on the road or mountain bike. And there's quite a bit of truth in that. Whether they come up without cyclocross, of course, is another question, but it does seem a bit of a shame not seeing Mark Nolte there at any of the events, and I strongly suspect that that's not down to Mark. I think it's something that is probably to do with budget, and he's not entitled to travel to the events or claim his mileage. One thing's for sure, if we get to round 4 this weekend, which we're looking forward to, brand new venue, and there's still no jerseys, I think people are going to get seriously annoyed. There's 2 or 3 paragraphs on one news page of British cycling, after all the effort that these organisers put on at the trophies. That really must be so annoying. And I know I sort of got more than my lion's share of media attention when I organised the Nationals, but it's the Nationals, and British cycling did what they could. I just think it's sort of a bit more coming from above in terms of budgets and costs. I've also seen one hard surface start in the trophy this season, and I know it's not an absolute concrete requirement, forgive the pun, but I think it was always an expectation that we'd start on a hard surface. We're lucky really that the grass at Falkirk and Clanfield held out. I don't think it's very good for the profile of the events. They just look like a little bit, a tendency to look like club events. I guess the other thing is the cost that's sort of gone a bit weird recently. It'll be 3 seasons ago it sort of crept over the £30 entry fee. Now that's, I know it's rich coming from people with 2 bikes each and all of that, but when you put on top the parking, the accommodation, or the camping fees, fuel money over a whole season, maybe for a couple of riders or 3 riders, it does now start to mount up. So we'll see where we get to anyway with this new venue this weekend. I know the organisers are very proficient from their mountain bike races, actually a very good team. They'll know what they're doing, but you know, putting on a national trophy in what is going to be pretty foul weather, it's not much fun, and I can say that personally. So we'll see how they get on. Fingers crossed it's a great weekend, and if you're going, have a good one. I'll do some videos there.